Pastor Terry Lynn here. I am so excited for what's about to happen. Before we get started, there's only one thing that you need to know, and that is Easter Jam is for everybody in the whole family, meaning if you're a teenager, a college student, kids, adults, this is for you. Get ready because this is Easter like you've never done it before. The only way to not have fun is to not participate. So, look around you. Is anybody missing? If so, hit pause and go get them now. We're getting started in 3, 2, 1.
Easter, a time for fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies. And then there are the weird parts of Easter, like fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies, which is interesting. But what does all this stuff have to do with Easter? And if this holiday is about more than candy and wearing uncomfortable clothes to church and lunch with your relatives, what makes Easter happy?
Ready for a game? For this game, all you need is a laundry basket and socks. Lots of socks. It doesn't matter if your socks are clean or dirty, as long as they match. If you need to, go grab those things now, hit pause, and then I'll tell you the rest. Got your basket and socks? Great. Now, you need to choose 2 people to be players and 2 people to be scorekeepers. To get started, dump all of those socks on one side of the room. Don't worry, they will get back to the basket real soon. Then, take your basket and put that on the other side of the room. When I say go, players will grab a sock, go through the pile, find the matching one, and then roll it into a ball or an Easter egg like this and toss it across the room into the Easter basket. The player with the most sock eggs in the basket at the end of the timer wins. If you don't have a scorekeeper, you'll have to keep up with that number on your own. Okay, if needed, press pause and get everyone and everything in position for the game. I'll wait right here. Everybody ready? Great. We're gonna put a 1-minute timer on the clock. The Easter egg throwdown is happening in 3, 2, 1, go! Come back over here. Who won? That was so fun. Whoever won, you win socks. Just kidding. Adults, make sure whoever won the challenge gets a special treat today. I hope you're all having fun so far. We are celebrating because today is Easter. If you don't know the whole story of Easter, that's okay. Today, we'll talk about what makes today, maybe more than any other day, a happy day. But before we get there, I know there are so many people, family and friends, that want to hear from you today. And to make that happen, we have a few options for you. Pause this video and pick one of the challenges on the screen to wish your peeps a happy Easter. Even though we're celebrating Easter a little bit different this year, that's okay, because Easter is still happy. And that's not because of Easter baskets and chocolate bunnies, although those are great, but it's still happy because of what happened thousands of years ago on the very first Easter. It's the world's most powerful story, and yet so simple that it can be told with laundry.
In the beginning, God created everything. He formed people in His very own image. But then, we turned away from God. Sin entered the world, like a dark stain. Still, God loved us so deeply that He made a plan to rescue us. At just the right moment, God sent His very own Son, Jesus, to live among us. Jesus healed hearts, and minds, and bodies. Thousands gathered to hear Him teach. Instead of giving lots of new rules, Jesus turned things upside down by making it simple. Love God, love others. After 3 years of traveling and teaching, Jesus and His disciples entered Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover feast. Huge crowds gathered to welcome Him. But while the crowds cheered for Jesus, the religious leaders made plans to arrest Him. He was turning their world upside down, and they wanted Him gone. As Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with His friends, He told them that He would be leaving, but would return. His friends didn't understand. That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas, led soldiers to arrest Him. The religious leaders gave Jesus a fake trial and then sent Him to Pilate, the Roman governor, who could have Him killed. Pilate found Jesus had broken no law and tried to release Him. But a mob called for Jesus to be killed. Pilate gave in and handed Jesus over to the Roman soldiers. Jesus was forced to carry the heavy beams of His own wooden cross. On a hill called Golgotha, the soldiers nailed Jesus' hands and feet to the rough wood. The soldiers and people who passed by laughed and mocked Him. But from the cross, Jesus asked God to forgive them. Finally, Jesus called out, "It is finished." Then He died. The earth shook. Rocks split open. Even the soldiers cried, "Surely He was the Son of God." One of Jesus' followers took His body and placed it in a tomb cut from the rock. A huge stone blocked the entrance. Jesus' friends were devastated. They had believed that Jesus was the one God promised, the one who would rescue them, but now He was gone. Their whole world had turned upside down. Jesus' friends stayed hidden in fear for 3 days. But early Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, a close friend of Jesus, hurried to the tomb. She planned to anoint Jesus' body with special spices. As Mary neared the tomb, she saw the stone had been rolled away. The tomb was empty. Mary turned to see a man standing near. She didn't recognize him until he said, "Mary." It was Jesus, alive. Jesus told her, "Do not hold on to me. I have not yet ascended to the Father. Instead, go to those who believe in me." Jesus, God's Son, became like us to lay down His life. Through God's power, He defeated death for all of us, and sin was washed away. One day, He's promised to return, so we can live with Him forever.
Wow, I hear that story every Easter, and it always amazes me. God sent Jesus to this world to show me that He is greater than anything that could ever go wrong in my world. The simple fact that Jesus came back to life shows me that I can face anything bad that happens. I like to think about it this way. I can because Jesus is alive. I can keep loving because Jesus is alive. I can be brave because Jesus is alive. I can have hope because Jesus is alive. Here's an idea. Take a few minutes to add to this list what you can do because Jesus is alive. Answer this question as a family. How would you fill in the blank? I can because Jesus is alive. Pause this video while you discuss, and when you're finished, meet me back here. Awesome. I love conversations like this because it helps me to remember what God has done in the past. And then that helps me trust Him with what's going on in my life right now. I hope you spend the rest of the day making happy memories with your family. To get you started, here is one last challenge. As soon as this video is over, I want you to head outside and take a family picture. You can be all dressed up, or you can be in your PJs. You can smile, or you can make a silly face. Whatever you do, take an awesome family picture and then share it to social media and hashtag it Bethel Kids Easter and share with us your amazing Easter family photo. Maybe now, more than ever, this is a time to celebrate and remember God's faithfulness and the hope that Jesus gives us. After all, that's what makes Easter so happy.
The greatest day in history. Death is beating, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. Cross the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. When I stand in that place, free at last, meeting face to face, I am yours, Jesus, you are mine.